everybody, and welcome back to Southern Woke.
I'm Marina.
And I'm Kaylin.
And today we are talking about... Kaylin?
Bohemian Grove. Alright, y'all, so last week we brought it back with some true crime, and now this week we want to get back into conspiracy. And we've been wanting to talk about this one for a while because...
Yeah, it's a big listener suggestion, oftentimes.
And I don't know about you, Marina, but I never, heard a lot about this.
I know. I just heard about it maybe for the first time in the last, 3 to 4 years, I feel like.
I think I heard about it maybe, 3 months ago when a friend from work brought it up to me, but for it being, as big as it is, I'd never even heard of it. So if y'all feel the same way, don't worry, we're going to break it down.
Yeah, so we want to just dive right on in, I guess.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, the Bohemian Grove was founded in San Francisco in 1872 by a group of male artists, writers, actors, lawyers, and journalists of all kinds, and they were interested in arts and culture. But over time, the artists began inviting more regular people that had a lot of money to boost their careers and stuff, and now it's kind of become a retreat for a secret society of the world's or our country's most powerful and wealthy men that meets every summer. That's my little summary of it, at least.
That's basically what it is. I get so many parallels from this that it's so similar to the Illuminati.
Yeah.
But it's also not.
Some members of what we would think would be in the Illuminati, though, like Beyonce and Lady Gaga, they definitely wouldn't be in Bohemian Grove because it's men only.
Yeah. But there's a lot of presidents that belong to this group. FDR, Eisenhower, Reagan, both of the Bushes were all members of this organization.
Every Republican president since 1923, minus Trump, has also been a member. Well, minus George Bush. He was invited, but he was never actually inducted. Fun fact.
So you're probably wondering, okay, so what's the big deal? They're going off on this retreat together. Well, first of all, the number one concern we have is just the amount of secrecy, I feel like, that surrounds this. None of their members are whistleblowers. They don't tell what goes on there. There's no press that's allowed. No women are allowed. And everything they do there is just completely sealed in secrecy. So that makes it already sketchy to begin with.
Yeah. But, side note, the only women that actually are allowed to be there are workers. And if you work there and you're female, you can only work either in the kitchen or as the valet service.
I still don't get how it's 2021 we have
Yeah, and that came from a lawsuit of the people in the city, I guess, just getting pissed off that they were being so sexist and they wanted the women's rights. So I think it was in 1978 there was a lawsuit where they had to hire women. But of course they get to choose where they put them.
Yeah, whatever.
And also a lot of the locals in that city protest every year that they go on their retreat because they want to know what they're talking about, because it's not fair that they're making these possible political decisions while being secluded from anyone that's going to tell.
I heard that one lady, I think her name was Mary Moore. Did you hear her speaking about it?
I saw her name in my research, but I don't remember what she said.
She basically the Bohemian Grove is her backyard.
Oh.
It's right next to where her backyard is. So she spent years and years researching all this, and that was her main thing. She was if they're talking about government policies and what they're gonna do, that should be open for everybody to be able to hear, because that's a law that we have.
Was that the lady with all the brochures and stuff on her walls? Yeah, I did see her.
Y'all have the same last name. How did you not remember
Well, that's what I remember the name, but I didn't remember. She was the lady from that show.
Yeah, so she's done a ton of research on it, but
Also, I want to say, I tried to look up, Bohemian Grove and find it on Google Earth. It was so freaking hard. I pulled up maps on my phone, and, I don't know if when you put Bohemian Grove into maps, if it's actually going to take you to Bohemian Grove, but that's what I did on Google Earth. I just traced down the highway to the point and did the street view.
Yeah.
But it just looked like random, lake houses with a bunch of, debris, everywhere. It didn't look like anything campground-ish, but it's probably a lie. And then it's surrounded by the redwood forest, so they have cover. And if you try to follow the roads on Google Earth, it's just blocked by the trees.
Yeah. And so, in order to honestly see what's going on in there, you have to be there, because these redwood trees just block any view from the outside. It's just not you're gonna look in with some powerful binoculars or something along those lines.
Yeah, and also it's on 2,700 acres of private property. So they just got, and it's like split up into separate campgrounds with like weird names. Like the bushes were part of Camp Hillbilly.
Yeah.
There was like Camp Silverados, all kind of shit.
And like depending on where you're coming from or like what your like clique is like what camp you're put into.
And I saw this Reddit thread, because, like, I even wanted to go on a Reddit to see what they had to say about Bohemian Grove. And there was this one person that said that they worked there as a server, and that, like, all the campgrounds are very cliquey. Like, if we think, like, they kind of downplayed it. Like, it's not as serious as you think. Like, they're so cliquey, like, it's high school, like, it's a frat, like, different fraternities in one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could kind of see that.
I could see that, too. And they kept comparing it to a fraternity. There's some weird stuff that goes down during this, guys. So first of all, it's all men that are there, and there's also a lot of theories about what happens. I guess we don't really know exactly what it is, but most people say that there's a lot of men dressing up in drag. There is a lot of gay sex that goes on there. I heard that one a couple times.
Because you gotta think, they founded this club and it's always been men only, but they founded it with like artists.
Yeah.
And like theater, putting on shows was a big thing back then for entertainment. And today, like they'll spend $75,000 plus on just one play for that retreat, and then they have to dress in drag to portray the women.
Exactly.
And the workers that have worked there have said that like their plays are so sexist and trashy, it's unreal. Like just imagine, our presidents have been in this club in drag, dancing on a stage, being sexist and trashy.
And they say that they are drunk the entire time. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
a party.
And they piss on trees.
Yeah.
Even maybe shit out there. Like, it's just land of the free.
I don't know. It's really weird, y'all.
Like, the server said that she saw a lot of rich penises.
I bet so. Can you imagine the feeling of being there with all these super, super powerful people walking around drunk? Like, that's insane.
I feel so uncomfy. It'd be like a family wedding I didn't want to be at or something. I don't know.
But they also said, like, one of its biggest appeals is they have so much opportunity there. Because imagine, like, the networking and the way you could connect with all these super powerful rich people. You're basically in it if you can get in.
But then you gotta think their motto is, like, weaving spiders come not here.
Yeah.
Which basically translates to, I think it comes from, like, Midsummer's Night Dream.
Mm-hmm.
Like, basically leave all your work out there. You're coming here to relax, no talk of business, blah, blah, blah. But, like, literally, it has been revealed that political talks do go on there.
Yes.
And politics is most of their career.
And some people believe that they even decide things like who the next president is going to be. They believe that the concept of the Manhattan Project, which was the thing that led to the atomic bomb, was conceptualized there, and that even the basis for the United Nations came from these talks at Bohemian Grove.
Yeah. So, like, some of the, like, rules of the club, first of all, the wait list is, like, 15 to 30 years before you're ever inducted into the club. And there's no cell phones allowed. Members can bring in women and children, but they must leave at night. And then, yeah, they have about 2,500 members that go yearly. And in order to be invited, it must be directly from a member that, like, you go as their guest. And the joining fee is $25,000, which is pretty freaking cheap in my eyes for this club.
I thought that too.
Like, there's literally exclusive clubs in, like, New York that have initiation fees of, like, $50,000. Now, there's no telling what their annual dues are, but...
But still. But it also is weird to me that they have, like, a wait list. And they said there's over 20,000 people on the wait list right now, and there's only, like, 2,500 members at a time.
Yeah, and then, like, any member can visit the campground throughout the year for whatever they want.
Yeah, but the only time that people are normally there is, like, during that big midsummer festival.
But, like, when you brought up the Manhattan Project or whatever, in September of 1942, J. Robert Oppenheimer, who was the father of the atomic bomb, like, booked the campground for, like, a few weeks. And then it said that he, like, did the groundwork for the Manhattan Project, and that resulted in the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki 3 summers later.
So some serious things do go down here. It's not just all people getting drunk and playing around. We know that is a fact. Alright, you want to talk about the big ritual that goes on there?
The
Cremation of Care.
Oh my goodness.
Alright, so just the name, the Cremation of Care, is already horrifying. The word cremation, I don't know, I hate that word. But
let's see, okay.
this is like their big kickoff ceremony that opens up the camp every year. And they're literally like talking about cremating their care. They're casting all of their worries aside, and what they're basically doing is burning and just giving away all their worries to a giant 40-foot owl statue.
Yeah, so how it officially happens is the campground is next to this artificial lake, and this person will row over in a boat that's carrying the wooden box, and then like a little parade of men in their red hooded robes. Creepy.
It happens at night, by the way, so it's like everything's only lit by fire.
Yeah. They grab the box and parade it back onto the big old owl, and then they like, apparently like the fire pit is in the owl, like it's hollow, and they burn it in there, and it's like a wooden skeleton in there. Some people believe it's like a different human every time they're sacrificing, but let's be real, I don't really think it's a real human.
Okay, I kind of do.
I think these boys are just like Boy Scouts on crack.
Okay, so I don't want to jump too far ahead here, but the guy that gets like the video of it.
Alex Jones? Or,
yeah. Did you watch the video? The corpse is like screaming.
Yeah, but that video quality is shit.
Yes, it is, but you definitely, as soon as he lights the corpse, you hear like, ah! That is so insensitive. But
it could have been anyone up there. There's like so many people by this stage, and then they say that there's like the owl talks, like there's like
yes.
a pre-recorded voice in it or something, or like I don't know. I just, from what I could see through the bush of his camera view, and like the pixelated, and the music was blaring so loud it like muffled with the screams. But maybe it's just like a thing, like they just scream when they do to release all the care. I don't know. I'm willing to bet it's less likely that it's a real skeleton than that is a fake one than it's real.
So there's a lot of controversy that goes on about this ritual and what it actually means and whether it's like a pagan ritual or not.
I have something interesting about like the origins with all of that. So it's the annual trip to Sonoma, because like the Bohemian Grove is in Sonoma County, California, began in the summer of 1878 with the growing membership of artists and all of that. Okay, while it seems that back then the goal was to celebrate the arts, it was always a little weird. In 1893, member Joseph D. Redding performed a play called Druid Jinx, in which he portrayed Christianity battling and defeating paganism, converting the Druids away from bloody sacrifices and other unchristian acts. They were so keen to warn against human sacrifices that they somehow started recreating them every year.
So this whole Cremation of Care thing has like very Druid-based roots to it, which I know very little about the Druids and that whole
Me either.
sect, but they were big on human sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the things that you see during this ritual, from the way that their staffs look and the way that their clothes are, is all based off of these Druids. Now, the other really big thing I feel I hear people talk about is this entire ceremony is taking place in front of this like 40-foot tall owl shrine, which literally just looks like a giant owl made out of concrete. And a lot of people believe that it's supposed to represent this pagan god named Moloch. Did you get a lot of stuff about that?
No, the only thing I put was that the owls have been linked to the Illuminati and the Freemasons, and like it's because they can see in the dark and they're very wise.
So that's like the answer I feel like that they normally give, and that they say like represents wisdom and being able to see in the dark. But what I saw on some other websites, and I don't know how true this is, but a lot of people were saying that apparently it represents this pagan god Moloch, whose whole thing is he's like the god of child sacrifice. And his symbol was apparently an owl. So that's like really scary if that's part of it and true.
Also, did you notice? I saw a lot throughout my research that they snuck an owl onto the dollar bill.
I saw something about that. Is there
Yeah,
an owl
peeks.
on it?
It like peeks out. Crap, I don't have a dollar.
Wait, I have a dollar bill.
Pause. We're gonna get a dollar.
Wait, I got one right here, boys. It's on like a $1 bill?
I believe so.
Heard that. I don't have a $1 bill in here.
Yeah, it says an owl in the corner of every dollar bill.
But I think I knew that there was an owl in the corner.
I don't know. There's so many like secret symbols on the thing that you hear about throughout your life.
Why do we not feel like that's weird? Like, why do we not feel like all the different secret things on all of our dollar bills are super strange?
I know, like the all-seeing, or is the all-seeing eye in the pyramid on the?
Yeah.
See, like it's just weird. Why do you have these correlations?
I want to know if other countries' currency has stuff like that.
I know. Every time I see another country's currency, I just like get overwhelmed because I'm like, I don't even want to think about conversions. Nope, nope. Mm-mm. So I've never really like looked. Except when I was in Mexico, I got a good look at some pesos. Is that what they're called?
Yes, I think so.